Hi guys, here's another one. Is a candy tumble dryer which I bought off the internet. I managed to get it for a tenner. It was advertised a few times, but some of the purchases failed. So they relisted it as the previous sale fell through. They state that the machine just stopped working and they've not had a chance to repair it. So I've paid and collected it. This is the unit here. It's a condenser dryer, and I'll show you around the unit here. A lot of fluff around the outside and dust. It's a heat pump type condenser dryer. Let's get close up there. See, there's a lot of dust around the entire unit. It's a built-in type. To show you there, freeze frame, that's the model number. And it's a Candy Hoover Group condenser dryer. And you can see a lot of dust in there. That's the actual water tank. And there's a little filter inside here. Got a bit of dust inside it. I have to give that a clean. Fluff filter. I'll show you the fluff inside there. And inside here, always messy inside these. That's where it goes down to the hot air goes down to the filter, to the condenser, sorry. And let's pop this section up here. That's the actual lower filter here, and behind it is the actual condenser. That's the filter there, second filter. A lot of dust inside there, and a lot of dust, as you can see down here, a lot of dust around the filter, so it's not been regularly cleaned, as you can see here. And that's just the fan. So I'll just pop this filter back in. Just 3 clips retain, hold it in. So first thing I'm going to do is check the power supply, check the plug, sorry, make sure there's no damage to the cord all the way from the plug to the machine. And I've checked it and there's no damage at all. So it should be safe enough to plug in at this stage. So I've switched it on. As you can hear, there's like a buzzy noise coming from the pump. So I'll just switch it off and disconnect from the mains. The drum doesn't turn at all. So what I'm going to do is remove the covers. First I'm going to start off by removing the lid, just undoing the screws. Just fast forward these sections because there's quite a few screws on there. And you can see I've got the lid removed, and I'll just show you inside. As per most dryers, there's a lot buildup of dust inside, as you can see here, buildup of fluff and dust. This can actually lead to dryer fires, as it's called. To show you here, there's quite a lot of dust inside of this unit. It's probably because the filter's not been changed regularly, or cleaned regularly, sorry. So I'm going to dismantle the unit further. Going to get the front cover off and get the tub out. Just speed this section up also, as it's quite a long process. Just going to do all the screws around the side of the front and remove the door. This front panel comes off, as you can see here. Just show you here. Well, I've got to this stage, you can see all the fluff inside of the machine, all around it, all around it in the door lock as well, and all around the top of the condenser unit, which I'll show you later. So I'll just speed this section up also as I'm further dismantling the unit. Just taking the front cover off, the front section up with the bearings, as you can see here, and just removing the there's hose which goes on the top here, which fills up the tank. Just removing that, and just give you a little close up of the dust inside here. See quite a lot of dust inside here. I think this seal has wasn't doing its job, hence why there's so much dust inside. There's a rubber seal there on the top, which I'm not sure it was sitting correctly. And there you can see the inside of the door housing. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this back cover off, which the fan blower housing. I'm just going to move that. Just fast forward this section also, because there's quite a few screws on this section also. So if I just turn it back around, I've done undone the screws at the back, so I'm able to remove the drum. That's the drum there. I'll just show you inside here. See, there's a lot of fluff inside of this unit. This is fluff on top of the condenser housing and the motor and the compressor. It's full of dust. Quite a build-up of the fluff and dust. Most dryers look like this on the inside once you've taken the covers off. And as I said before, can lead to dry fires. So I'm just going to get my Henry Hoover and just back up all of this fluff and dust. See the compressor there, and the motor at the back, and this is the inside of the door. Just getting all the fluff which was stuck around the seal. Just backing all that up. Just use a brush to remove the excess dust whilst I'm backing it. And this is the drum. I'm just getting rid of the fluff around the side here. Now that that's done, these sections I'm going to jet blast them. Obviously because they're not connected to the machine, I've removed them. This is the fluff filter. Just going to give it a jet blast, get rid of all the fluff and dirt and dust off of these panels here. That's the blower housing at the back, and that's the lower filter there. Just give it a blast with the jet wash. Makes it a lot easier and cleaner. And that's just the lid. Just give it a blast. Okay, come back next day and everything's nice and clean and dry. As you can see here, got all the parts laid out. And here's the actual unit itself. So now that I've got everything clean, I'm going to see if we can find what the problem is. First, I'm going to start by removing this pump. See if there's any obstructions inside. I'm going to undo this hose. And I have to remove the motor. Little blockage in there. I've got to remove the motor to get to it, which I have done. And you can see inside here, that's the pump reservoir. It's got fluff inside it, which I'll have to clean. A lot of fluff inside the bottom of there. And I've got the pump upside down. I'm just going to give it a test. As you can see there, it's the impeller spinning. And I'll just take this bottom cover off and show you. Let me just pop this cover off here, so you can see that the pump's impeller is actually spinning. So the pump is working fine. You can see here I've cleaned the reservoir, the pump reservoir. So all I've got to do now is pop the pump back in. Very difficult to film, but I'm going to pop the drainage pump back in. I'll show you some bits and pieces here. And I've managed to get it seated. Very difficult. And just put the two retaining screws back in. I'm on the end of a torque screwdriver. And then just put this plug back together. very difficult to do with one hand. I'll have a go anyway. And there you can see I've got that clip together. So got to get this little bit of white tubing out and pop it into the head of the pump, which I've done there. And just reconnect the drainage plug and tighten it back up in place here, and just clip it into its cable tidy. And there, just show you there, it's fully fitted. All I've got to do is put the pump back in place. So what I've done, I've connected it all back up. I've connected the door switch so it stays on. Switch the machine on and just go for one of the options here. And straight away you can hear the pump, but the motor doesn't turn. The drum drive motor doesn't turn. So there's a problem there. So what I'm going to do is, being as the belt's still connected, I'm just going to give it a little tug to force it round. And you can hear there, now the motor's spinning. So more than likely the problem is with the motor's capacitor. You can hear it there spinning. It won't spin by itself. You've got to give it a tug once it's switched on. So more than likely it's this capacitor here. I'll just highlight that for you. It's a 7 UF capacitor, plus or minus 5. I'm going to have to order a new one of them. And I've managed to find one via the YouTube channel howtorepair.com. And I've ordered it. Just got to wait for it to arrive. Okay, after a couple of days, the part has arrived. It is here. It's candy. The candy bag. Looks like OE, obviously not. So the capacitor has arrived. Let me just show you here what I've done. I've connected the sensor at the front there and override the door switch, and that enabled me to test the motor. I'll just show you here. As you've seen in the previous video, this is what the problem is. You've got to rotate the motor to get it to run because the capacitor is gone. So let me just show you here. I'll switch the machine on. It's here, there. The motor's running. Let me just get this camera down and show you. Put a little arrow in there for you. So the motor will only run once the machine switched on, when it's rotated. So first thing I'm going to do is short the capacitor. I've got these pair of pliers here with the insulated handle, and I'm just going to put it across the terminals of the capacitor, and obviously make sure you've removed the plug from the mains. So what I'm doing is just making sure there's no voltage left in the capacitor, and I'm just going to pull it off the spade connectors with the pair of pliers. Let's get another angle on that. And here you can see here, I'm just undoing the spade connectors, the blue and orange. And then it's just a matter of undoing this 8mm bolt, 8mm head bolts. I'll just use the pliers to undo it. Once I've removed the nut and the spring washer, as you can see here, I'll just put them to one side. And here's the capacitor there. I still don't want to touch them terminals because, like I said, these, just put pliers in there again just to show how I short it, because they do hold a lot of voltage when they're working. And let's give you a close up here. That's the old one, capacitor, the one I just removed. And this is the new one. You can see the markings there, 7 UF plus or minus 5% on the old and new there. So I'm going to get rid of the old one now and fit the new one. It's just a reverse. The original had 4 prongs on, 4 spades on, spade connectors. This one's just got 2, so it's just reverse. Just a matter of fitting this nut and spring washer back on, and then just tighten it up with the pliers. And then I'll just show you from the top. This is the spade connectors. I'm just putting them on in the position they came off. Just using the pliers. Like I said, I don't really want to handle it, so I'll just use a pair of pliers, even though I've reduced the volts in it or shorted it. So I'll just push that on with me insulated pliers. So, like I said before, the door switch is overridden. So I'll just give it a test, switch the machine on. Straight away you can hear the motor working there, without any assistance. I'm going to show you. The motor spinning by itself now, whereas before it wasn't, because of the capacitor going. So as you can see there, the spindle's spinning. So that's a good fix. I'll just turn this off. So it's just a matter of reassembling the unit. Just putting the back cover on there. And then you can see me just put the front section on. And fitting the door, top cover and the control panel. Okay, so now that it's fully assembled, just show you here, I've got the tank here, which I'll give that a clean also. That just fits inside the door on this model. Just shut that. And then let me just show you the filters, the fluff filters. I'll give them a nice clean. This one fits inside the insert in the door, inside here. And I'll just show you inside here. It's nice and clean now, whereas before it was full of dust. So this filter just fits inside here. And then we've got this filter at the bottom. It sits just outside the condenser. I'll show you here. It's nice and clean and dust free. So I'll just reassemble that. And let me just show you the housing for the condenser. That got that nice and clean also. As you can see there. So I'll just put that filter in also. Just pushes in, and then these 3 clips hold in place. And then I just need to close this bottom panel. This clips in like so. Now, just going to give it a test. Got some clothing here, what I just took out the washing machine. Let's put them in. Put it on for 40 minutes. As you can see, it's still working. To show you here, stop the cycle, and just show you how far I've got. You can see the clothes nice and warm inside here, and all the clothes are dry. Try not to show you too much. And here's the water it's collected. And that pretty much concludes. let's carry on with the cycle. With that, thanks for watching once again, and please subscribe.